Hello everybody, it is MegapiemanPHD here, and welcome to another GamesMatter event, this time for December 5th, 2014. Today I'm going to be talking with Miles Tilmann from Pixel Jam Games, and we're going to be taking a look at his game, Potatoman Seeks the Troof. How you doing today, Miles?
Pretty good.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is you do at Pixel Jam while I get the game up?
Okay, well, I'd say I'm kind of like half of the full-time participants at Pixel Jam. Oh, there's a train in the background now. That's perfect timing.
Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer. It's probably going to drown me out. So I basically do all the techie, codey, businessy type stuff at Pixel Jam, and Rich Grillotti, who was a part of the last interview you did with us.
Right.
He's the creative director, artist type dude.
Now, the previous interview I did with you guys was for your Kickstarter for Diner Run 2, which unfortunately didn't actually happen, but that was a few months ago. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game that did actually happen. This is Potatoman Seeks the Troof. It's been out for a while, but only recently came to Steam. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what Potatoman is before we dive right in here?
Well, do you want the story of how it came to be, or what we think it is?
Both.
Both. I'll start with how it came to be. I think this was about it was about mid 2012. This was when we were having, we were kind of like wondering what we should do next. We were having trouble with the Glorkian Warrior, getting that finished, that we had got kickstarted like in 2010. And, you know, every once in a while you've probably heard the same story about some indie developer that just decides to, like, quote-unquote, make a game in a week just to see what'll happen because they're kind of burnt out on their existing projects. So I started on this just kind of quietly by myself. I don't even think anybody else at Pixel Jam even knew. I had taken a bunch of Rich's artwork from a previous project that just never surfaced. And Potatoman was one of those characters. And I didn't really know what the game was going to be about. It just kind of created itself as I just played with it for a week. And then I realized it was going to be an incredibly difficult and weird platformer.
Well, it's got the weird part down, that's for sure. Potatoman is... I haven't actually played much of it yet. I played a little bit. I haven't played it off on the stream yet. But it's, well, it's an interesting game, I have to say. You see, the game kind of came together on its own. Did it have any inspirations or anything specifically that you were going for behind it at all?
As I was making it, I started reading more about this game. I think it's called I Want to Be the Guy. I think a pretty well-known, as they call it, punishment platformer.
Yeah.
And I never actually played it, but I started looking at videos of it as this game was coming together, and I realized this was kind of like a more lighthearted version of that. I don't think this is nearly as masochistic or sadistic, depending on your point of view, as that game was.
I don't think it is either, because this game doesn't actually lead you to dead ends that you can't get through. I remember, I Want to Be the Guy, one of the first things you can do in that game is find a dead end that you can't actually go through, so... Yeah.
And then you're just stuck, or
you're just stuck. You can't actually go that way, but it looks like it's the way you're supposed to. Okay, there's a lot of cactus.
So it really is sadistic, that game.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's so wrong.
I didn't really want to infuse any wrong into this, but I think it can appear that way sometimes. I think we wanted it to be more unpredictable and kind of set expectations and then kind of mess with them as we go.
Yeah, he's got eyes. You guys definitely, you definitely had. I can tell. I can just feel you had a lot of fun putting this game together.
Yeah, it really was a lot of fun. And of course, a game in a week became a game in many months. But you know, we did eventually finish it. Oh, look at him go! And then this is what you're seeing here is actually one of the new color palettes for the Steam update. The original game only has one color palette per level, but the new game has 4 per level that are just kind of randomly chosen.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So now you're in magical autumn world, which you might not be the next time you play it.
Oh, it jumps!
that chicken will get you every time. I've watched people play this game and they will get killed by that chicken like 6 times in a row, even though they know they can't jump. It just like you see this thing.
You have the urge, because you've played platform games so many times.
Yeah,
you have the urge to you jump over it. You jump over it. You know.
Yep.
It's like in your mind, it's kind of just built in there.
Yes, it is. Oh! I thought you were gonna jump. I felt it coming. Nice work.
I have played. When I played this game before we decided to live stream it, I got all the way to the sharks in the city, and I couldn't beat them, so I decided, nah, that's where I'm gonna stop.
Right.
How long is Potato Man?
Well, it depends on who you ask. if you watch me, you watch me or someone who's played it 1,000 times, it appears extremely short. But if you ask other people, I think just because of the difficulty of it, they might say, "Oh, I never finished it. It seemed like it was really long." It's really not that long at all. You could probably, if you're really, really good at it, you can probably get through it in like 20 or 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Which, by today's standards, is maybe like kind of unusually short. But it's funny, we haven't really gotten any complaints about how short it is. We've gotten a lot of comments about how short it is, but no one has actually ever really complained except maybe one person. Because most people just expect that a game is going to, last 5 to 10 hours.
Okay. Speaking of things people expect, I did not expect that.
There you go. Yeah, these bananas too. I don't know what happened with them, but yeah, they'll just kind of get you something.
So, is a lot of this game, I'm feeling a lot of this game's randomized as to what goes where. So it's not even like a memory sort of platformer.
It's a mix of both. Some of the stuff is pre-scripted, and some of it is random. Those bananas are definitely random. And I realize like it can seem incredibly unfair, but the unfairness is kind of, I'm going to sound all artsy-fartsy here. The unfairness is kind of intentional to like the theme and the story of the game. Like Potato Man's life is incredibly unfair. That's just how it is. Oh, nice work.
So, you're saying Potato Man has a story here?
Yeah, totally. He's got a story.
What? Do you care to enlighten me on what that story might be, besides he's a potato and a man?
Well, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to do any spoilers. But he's definitely on a quest to find something, and he does find it at the end. But a lot of the people that get to the end, some of them, I don't even want to say get it. To me, get it implies that we have some special secret and that you're not smart if you don't get it, which I don't think is the case. But a lot of people have like talked to us about the end, and there are people that kind of agree with us with what the game is about, and there are people that just don't care, and both of them are totally valid. But from the point of view of the person that designed the game, I'd have to say yes, there definitely is a story. There's like a quote-unquote message. And I think it's just kind of an extension of my personality and Rich's personality to like try to be kind of deep, but also kind of self-deprecating at the same time. It's kind of like that guy who's just kind of like nervously laughing about everything he says when he's trying to be philosophical.
I can't tell which one is me.
The one that can jump.
I'm having the hardest time doing it because it's like a city up. There's a sea of potato men here.
Yeah,
like, I can't figure out.
We coded it so that there's always one that jumps with you to throw you off a little bit. So every time you jump,
so wrong.
It will randomly pick one out of the crowd to jump with you.
That's just.
But you can tell the camera stays on. He's more or less in the center.
Yeah. Freaking guys. As always, those of you in chat, if you have any questions for Miles here, feel free to throw them in chat, and I'll move them on to him as I get run over constantly by vehicles. The people in this town, they're horrible drivers. Horrible, horrible drivers.
Well, you're walking on the road. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, I mean, you got a point, but still, it's a world populated by potatoes. There's got to be some room for error here.
There's a lot of carnage in this town.
Carnage, pun intended. Ah, I was doing so good.
There was no pun intended.
Are the potato people driving the cars? Is the question from Sketch Zero as I run out of lives. What happens now?
Don't go left.
All right. I should have learned this. This whole game, you go to the right.
Well, you can go to the left if you want to start the entire game over.
I'd rather not. Personally.
Yeah. I would like to mention that when I first started coding this, I had it so that when the game was over, it sent you back to the beginning every single time.
That's just wrong.
It was really wrong. I had this idea that the game was going to be a lot more unforgiving and unfair than it even is now, but I got talked out of that really quickly by everyone that played it. Mainly Rich. Rich is usually like the voice of, you know, I was kind of like huddled away, working on the mechanics of this. Oh, there you go. Nice.
Okay, we're good.
All by
good.
myself, and had a lot of thoughts that I thought would like really add to the overall experience, especially if you get to the end. But then once people started playing it, they're just like, no, maybe you can do that in an 8-bit NES game. You can make them start over from the beginning if you lose all your lives, but you cannot do that anymore.
Yeah, you can't really get away with that kind of a thing anymore. Oh, whoa,
Nice.
Okay, all right.
No, and unless, I mean, what is that game by? What's it called? It's by Robot Loves Kitty. They have like it's like a
Dungeon of the Endless?
No, but it is like a. I don't think it's Dungeon of the Endless.
That's the only game I can think that they've put out so far.
Theirs was Legend of Dungeon.
No, that's it. Yeah, I don't know why I said Dungeon of the Endless. That's it.
But they're making a new game. I could be wrong about this. They might have changed it, but I think you can only play it once ever.
Yeah, that's. I was just I was chatting about this the other day. It's like I don't know how in the world that could possibly. I think the game's free. It would have to be free, you know. I can't see anybody paying to do it like once.
I think it's almost like game show style, where there's like an audience that's watching, and you might get selected to play, but if you get to play, you only get to play once ever.
I don't know how they're going to keep that in track unless they're going to ban your ISP or something.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I don't think they can really enforce that, but I think it's more of the idea. Most people will probably stick to it, but I'm sure some people that really want to play over and over again will be able to do it.
Oh man, this level reminds me entirely of Dino Run.
Have you ever played this level?
No.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is the one that really gets people upset.
I can see why. I can definitely see why. Is there a way to get more lives? Because you have like, I think each area you get an extra life you can lose.
Yeah, every time you get to a new level, it grants you some lives, and if you continue, it will give you more lives per level. So I don't know how to explain that properly, but it gives you more and more lives the more you have to continue. So it does kind of like make it a little easier the more you play. It doesn't make the actual game easier. It just
the more you lose, the more chances you have to lose.
Yeah, exactly. The more you lose, the more chances you have to lose. Exactly.
It works. It works.
Oh boy, yeah, this one. It's funny when I was this path that these rocks are taking was really just serendipitous. I was just randomly making them plop down over these platforms at first, and I just had to like tweak variables until they landed in a way that was actually interesting to look at. They're not like on predefined curves or anything.
So Sketch Zero has a question here in chat asking where you got the idea to make a game about a potato. Now, you touched on this a little bit earlier where you said that you took some sprites from a previous project and started working on it for this project. But what made you decide to go with Potatoman instead of something else?
Yeah, Rich had made a whole mess of characters as just static images. Some were animated GIFs, but we had a lot of them just sitting around from his doodles. It's like, he has a bunch of pixel doodles that nobody really sees. And I remember seeing this one, and he just kind of spoke to me. Oh, that was really unfair. Sorry about that.
It's all right. It's all right. I didn't get that far in the level anyway, so, restarting isn't too bad.
Yeah, he had this kind of like, I don't know, he's really unassuming. He seems kind of naive, like just looking at him. I don't know, when I first saw him, he seemed like the type of character that could I wanted to make a game like this, I think, before. I actually can't remember if I had the idea for the game before or after I saw this particular sketch. I think I maybe saw the sketch, and then just the idea for the game came from just like what I thought his personality was like. That's my remembrance of it. It was a while ago. So I think I just took him and just like thought, oh yeah, he looks like he's looking for something, but he doesn't even know what it is. So I just stuck him in this desert and made him run around, and then made you talk to some characters, and then I put the cactuses in there and realized, oh, I think this world should be out to kill him. Like everything that exists in this world, its sole purpose is to kill Potatoman.
But, it's dangerous out there for a lone potato. You never know, he might be turned into French fries or au gratin or mashed.
Oh, I see a question. Anything exciting in the works? There was a time when we were really excited about a bunch of new ideas we had, but we've realized the value in just kind of like working with our existing library of games at the moment, just trying to get them on all possible platforms. Hence the recent Potatoman Steam release, and then we're going to do it for iOS pretty soon and Android.
Potatoman's been out. Oh man. Oh crap.
Oh, you almost.
I got overconfident. Potatoman's been out for a while. I don't necessarily know where you'd be able to download it. And then I saw that recently you put Glorkian Warrior out on Desura, when that was originally a mobile game.
Yeah, that's right. Glorkian Warrior earlier this year was iOS, and then we made a Mac and PC version. We had 2 game releases within like 3 weeks, which I don't know if that's a really good idea from a marketing standpoint, but they were both done at the same time, so we just decided to go for it. Needless to say, the last few weeks have been crazy. But,
Well, getting Potatoman on Steam kind of opens up the doorway for you, because I don't know if it used to be that if you got on Steam, you were then on Steam. If one of your games got on Steam, everything could get through Steam. Is that how it still is, or do things like Glorkian Warrior and Dino Run SE still have to go through the greenlight process?
That's a really good question, and I asked it to our contact at Valve, and his response was basically yes and no.
Well, that's helpful.
And I know, I'm sure that other developers out there are wondering the same thing, like, once you get in, are you in? And I think the answer is yes and no.
It's because I've seen a couple people, a couple devs who have games on Steam who've been running their other games through Greenlight, like Ian Stoker from Magical Time being the guy who did Escapegoat. He's got both Escapegoat 1 and Escapegoat 2 on Steam, but then he was running his series Soulcaster through the Greenlight program. It's weird.
It is weird, and I don't understand exactly how it works, and that's surprising to me that Ian would have to do that, because Escapegoat is like a pretty established. Maybe he wanted to. Maybe it's.
I don't know. It's like I don't know if he necessarily had to, or if he just did it anyway.
Sometimes it's just good publicity. Like sometimes you can just go on Greenlight knowing that you're gonna get greenlit pretty soon. I think that I've had my head like deep in Steamworks and just getting acquainted with the way the store works and how discoverability is, and I think Valve does it better than anybody else right now, but I don't think developers and gamers are ever going to be satisfied. Like, you can't please gamers. Everybody knows that.
Well, I've heard that. I talked with a couple people about a website called Indie Game Stand. I've talked with Joe Mirabello from Terrible Posture Games, the developer of Tower of Guns, and he says that their system's pretty good. So You might want to look in if it's not already. You might want to look into trying to get onto there.
Onto which
Indie Game Stand.
Oh yeah, we're on there as well. We have Potatoman and Gork on there. Those guys are really easy to work with. Like it's all, I mean, it's a really nice looking store, and it works well, and it's easy to make updates and stuff.
Victory is mine!
You did it! Oh, is it?
And now I'm gonna die. And now I'm gonna die so bad.
Oh.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Okay. This game is gonna give me a heart attack. Oh, that kills me. Oh, good.
Yeah. But oh, you've only got 2 lives left.
I don't want to redo that.
Oh, you might have to redo it. This, I question. Okay, well now
these don't stop, do they?
No, they don't. It looks impossible now, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it actually is impossible with how close those bats come down to that platform over there on the right. There's no way to get under that.
I don't know. You might want to try some stuff. To further answer that question about new things in the works, we have been in the process of trying to update Dino Run for a while. Oh, you had your chance.
I did, and I didn't take it, and now I lost it.
Do you want some tips, or do you want to just try to go for it?
Do you have any cheat codes?
No. Oh, you gotta start over now.
It's all right. It's all right. This is how we fill up our time.
I know,
show,
right?
You know,
and
this is how you fill up your time.
We had talked to some people that were kind of upset about having to restart at the beginning of the level, but I will say that there's a reason for it, and the reason is once you get to the end of this level. Okay, so like there's a part you haven't even gotten to yet that's much more difficult than this or the bats.
Oh, good.
The bats are actually like really easy if you know exactly what to do. But I've watched this game played like on YouTube a few times where they get to the very, very end and they'll have like, the very, very end sequence of this. There's one like the hardest challenge probably in the whole game is on this level. And they'll have 1 life left. And that was an interesting way to do it.
It worked. It worked. It worked. I didn't die. I lived potato one more day.
They'll have 1 life left when they're going to complete this challenge, and you can just tell that they're holding their breath. And I'm holding my breath, even though I've seen it a million times. And then they make it, just like the release from like making it when they have 1 life left, knowing that they have to start all the way over at the beginning. It makes it worthwhile, because otherwise there's like really no, I don't think the word is accountability, but there's no real risk involved if we just kept spawning you from the same spot over and over again until you make it. I realize some other games are like that. Some other like hardcore platformers just keep spawning you from the same spot over and over again until you make it. And that's fine for what they're doing with their game. That probably makes sense. For what we're doing, it doesn't make any sense. We need that tension of, oh, I really gotta make it on this last life, or else I'm screwed.
Well, I think that works because a lot of hardcore platformers that I've played, they won't even have that. You'll have to restart the entire level over if you die.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of them become like marathons. So you not only do you have to get through something very difficult, you have to get through a lot of really difficult stuff.
Yeah.
So I think Potatoman is a good mix of having frequent checkpoints along with lives, you know?
Yeah. I think we did a lot of balancing.
This is ridiculous. Are you kidding me?
It is ridiculous. You just kind of have to.
You gotta have to just go.
Sort of. It's kind of changed since the last version. The last version was more predictable.
I gotta do it again.
I'm sorry. It really does get easier. You'd be amazed. You see some people that have played this a couple times and they just breeze through it.
People play this multiple times.
They do. I know, it's amazing.
It's actually almost easier to, because when you spawn in, the rocks from the top aren't dropping on you.
Yeah, it's true. You can get a jump on it. But I mean, like, once you learn what's going on, you can generally breeze through it.
So, is the soundtrack available anywhere?
Yeah, it's on. It's a DLC on Steam as well. And it's on Bandcamp too. When we released the game, we sold it direct, just like through our own site and Disura and a couple other places. But we always pointed people. Oh, why'd you do that?
I don't know. I totally did. That was on purpose. That was, to give me less
Oh, wow.
lives.
I've never seen someone have that boulder bounce over them before. This is a first. Very, very nicely done.
It's all skill. 100% skill.
Oh, it's 100%. Whoa! Nice work.
I keep feeling like this rock's going to do something and kill me, but it's not.
Oh, I'm definitely going to get the 2600 version of this game. That's one of the best comments about the game I've ever heard.
Well, the thing about Potatoman, it's like, it's a deceptive... I can't imagine actually trying to make a game like this, because it looks to be deceptively complex. It looks like it would be kind of simple, but it also looks like it would be a huge pain in the butt. Because you would have to, like, test everything and all that kind of stuff. I don't even know if it could run on a 2600.
We could probably get it to work on a 2600. Why we would do that, I have no idea. Yeah, this part is incredibly difficult. It's kind of like a mix of just like going for it and not giving a shit, and then just like being really careful as well. And I know that makes no sense, but
oh, it makes about as much sense as everything else. So one of the things that I really like about Potatoman is probably the trailer. You have probably one of the greatest trailers of all time when it comes to this game. Now I remember during, I don't remember where it was. It was someone's like, was it Robot Loves Kitties 48-hour live stream that you guys were on, and then they talked about there was one of you has like a film company kind of.
No, we have a good friend Don who owns.
That might be what it was.
Yeah, he owns. He's the main dude behind Imagos. And Don actually did some work with us on some games for a while. Like around Dino Run 2 Kickstarter time. And he was a big part of the Dino Run 2 Kickstarter. He was going to be the lead coder on Dino Run 2 had it got kickstarted. But when that didn't happen, we all moved on to other things. You're safe on the very right of that platform, by the way.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. But I was wondering the reason why I brought that up is I was wondering if he was the guy who was behind the trailer for Potatoman.
Yes, he conceived and executed that trailer all on his own. Like Pixel Jam really had nothing to do with that. He basically showed us the idea, the script, and we said, "Sounds really cool. I hope you can actually pull it off." And
he actually pulled it off.
And he actually pulled it off. And I didn't say to him, "I hope you can pull it off." I knew he could pull it off because he's kind of amazing like that. But because he had actually made an entire like feature film before that, Motivational Growth, which is now out. I guess you can buy it and stuff. But so he definitely had the chops to do it. And after we gave him the green light, he just like magically made it happen. He's kind of a sorcerer in that regard. He can just make things happen. But yeah, I think after watching you play this, I think I actually...
The rock spawned on top of me! Are you kidding me?
I think I need to make an update to the game and actually make this a little less brutal. Because, like, I mean, I tested it plenty of times and I can get through it, like... Well, actually, I die a lot. In the original version, the boulders had more of a pattern that they kind of adhered to. But somehow in the new version, like if you dilly-dally around like this, they start getting lower, and they start getting harder to actually predict, and then there'll just be some of those really unfair ones that just...
dang it. I thought I could make it.
Yeah, this is brutal. I feel like we're just going to be watching this level for the rest of the show. Oh yeah, this is totally impossible right there.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you know. We'll figure it out.
It'll happen eventually, you know.
I have like a little list of things to tweak anyway. The great thing about, as like we had a Glork on iOS, and you know, iOS is cool and all, and if they feature you, it's great. But one of the real problems with it is that if you have to update your game, you have to wait a really long time. Or you can just like write them and say, please, please, please expedite the update because it's a show-stopping bug, and they'll usually respond to that. But I mean, you know, Steam, I'm amazed that you can just have that boulder go over you every single time. I've never seen anybody do that.
Well, that's something that I hear for a lot of console stuff, and I don't know if you have any plans of trying to put Potatoman or anything on consoles.
No, I've heard it's a big...
Yeah, it's like, they usually move, man.
I mean, maybe one day we'd just have to be like sitting around wondering what we do next to do that.
That's for Potatoman 2, right?
Yeah, maybe. We don't have any plans to go on consoles anytime soon. It would be great if we could magically push a button and have Potatoman on a console, but it's... I think as far as updates go, I don't know if you... Oh, maybe you can. It's funny. Some people think that the coder actually has like total control over the way things work, but really it's just... I'm just suggesting what they do, and they kind of do their own thing sometimes.
Yeah, it's that magical combination of I can do anything, but I have no idea how I do it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Same thing for making music, I found too. I did the music for the game as well, and a lot of the stuff is just, there'll just be some random doodle, like a sound, like a single sound effect, and the whole thing will just spring from that. Man, this is painful to watch.
You think it's painful to watch? It's painful to do.
I think you should really move forward unless it seems absolutely inappropriate.
I'm tempting to do that, but it's hard to gauge where these things are gonna land.
There you go, you got it. Oh, you had it. There's that one where you have to double back and then you got to keep moving forward. The thing is, the more you don't move forward, the harder it gets.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Okay. Oh crap! I had that, man. The trajectory on these boulders is... Oh, I lost it. I lost it already. Oh, it's done. It's done. Tilmann doesn't run that fast. So, have you had any thoughts about making more Potatoman? Has Potatoman taken off all that much on Steam so far? I mean, it came out a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's been like neither here nor there, I'd say. I think a long time ago, Steam was kind of like the promised land for PC developers. It was like the equivalent of like a boutique, right? You walk in and they release one new specialty item every other day, and it's like, here's the new Steam game, and it got tons of visibility, and it usually sold a lot because they were highly selective. And now since Greenlight has come around, I think the total amount of money made by developers is probably greatly increased, but it's spread out so much more now that it's starting to become more like a, big winners and big losers type thing. And I had thought our sales were like really low compared to like what I shouldn't say expect. I've been doing this long enough to not expect anything. But I had talked to some developers too, and they confirmed that there's no baseline of sales you can expect from Steam anymore, which it's just a product of them opening up their store for more developers. So, but the great thing about Steam is how social it is, like the social aspect to it. Like, you can just see what your friends are playing, and there you go. That's the spot.
That's the sweet spot. I couldn't get that time.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I just saw a tweet from Indie Gamer Chick as well.
Alright, just we do this a little bit. Usually we do these around 8 o'clock. And unfortunately, we're doing it around 4 o'clock today, just because that's the time that fit. So I wasn't sure if Indie Gamer Chick would be able to do our normal giveaways
Is
Or
she?
not.
Is she on?
Hello? You still there? Hello, hello? Oh, then we lost him here for a sec.
Yeah, I'm back. I think
All
I
right.
got it. Oh no, man! This part's gonna zap later.
I keep. It's like I went under it flawlessly 3 times in a row. So now I keep trying to do that, and it's biting me. It's biting me in the buns. But one thing I wanted to ask is, you guys.
You can just jump it.
I know. You can just jump. I don't want to jump.
Okay, you don't have to jump.
I was going to jump it, I forgot. But I know you guys have done, you did some commission work with Adult Swim, and I've noticed that Adult Swim has been putting their games more and more on Steam with stuff like Super House of Dead Ninja, Super Puzzle Platformer, things like that. Have you thought of working with them to get any of the games that you worked on with them to have like a super version that's up on Steam?
Yeah, well, we're actually working with them to put Dino Run on Steam.
I didn't realize that Dino Run was a game that was put out with Adult Swim.
It wasn't originally. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say that.
It's alright, we won't tell anybody.
It's only public. But yeah, we still have a good relationship with them. They're really good people to work with. So but you know, we're a small company and we can only do one thing at a time, and we tend to like kind of get ourselves into more than we can handle sometimes. So after a while, we just had to pull back and say, okay, first work, and then Potatoman Steam, and then like we can focus our efforts on making Dino Run. Like we're basically doing like an up. I don't know what you would call it. It's not a sequel. But it's not just an update either. It's kind of like a reimagining or a redo, a remastering. I don't know what you would
I guess remastering is good. You can't really call it like a redo because you're the same developer, so it's not like somebody else.
Yeah.
Like when the new Tomb Raider came out, that was like a redo because it was nobody from the original project.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know. I don't know what to call these things.
I would call it a remaster. You got 12 chances now.
I got 12 chances to die.
That's it.
Come on! Go, Potato Man!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Don't die.
Easier said than done. Oh yeah! Pure skill. Pure skill. No luck was involved in that. Zero luck was involved in that.
I tell you, my heart was racing. It really was.
Oh, goody. Well, this looks horrible.
It's not nearly as bad as that boulder sequence.
There's nowhere to go that way. I got 24
You have 24 lives.
I have 24 lives. If I can't get this, it's my own fault. Oh, there's more boulders there. Oh, good. Good to know. We're learning every step is a learning process.
Yeah. You may actually find the truth.
Whoa! Alright, that was... You know, I don't know what I was expecting there, but it wasn't necessarily that. Okay. Alright. This game just got real. It got super amounts of real. So like I said before, if anybody has any questions that they would like to ask Miles about... That never stops, does it?
No, it doesn't. No.
Oh, goody. That's good. Oh, okay. If anybody in chat has any questions you'd like to ask Miles about potatoes or other vegetables or other games that he's worked on, feel free to leave those in the chat and I will be sure to ask him about them. But I apologize if I don't say anything like super interesting for this interview for a little bit because I'm trying to like pay attention and not horribly murder this potato. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it. He really doesn't.
How much more time do we have?
We have well, it's almost 5, so we got at least let's see, it's 4:20, 4:40. I can't read. It's 4:46, so we've got about 15 minutes or so.
Okay. I feel like you're pretty close to the end. But the end sequence, do you have to cut it off right at 5?
We don't have to. We can go for the rest of the day if we want to. But
Oh, right, I see. I'm just mentioning that because the end sequence takes about, like, maybe 10 minutes in itself. I think you'll get there. I think we'll actually see the entire game. It's funny. It's a double-edged sword. I really like to, like, see people... I think I've just resolved myself to, like, everybody already seeing the end of the game. Because that's, you know, that's how we made it. Like, we knew it was going to happen. Like, it's the type of game that you could probably get through and see the ending of pretty quickly. Oh, that's not going to happen. Didn't you already go that way? I think you're... Oh, no, you didn't
but
get that
way. I changed the gravity, so I was going to try to go that way, but the gravity changed back.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like... It's like a game like VVVVVV, you know? It's not a super long game. People have probably seen multiple people play it, but it's still... That's not going to happen, is it? Well, it's still fun to play.
I think VVVV... How many is that? 6 Vs?
I think it's 6. I say it wrong every time. Oh, that's fair. Okay.
That game is definitely a lot longer than this. Full disclosure. I mean, it seems longer. I mean, I've played it before. I didn't beat it. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, you can't beat that game in an hour, though, can you?
It's about, like... I'm sure you could if you speedrun it, but it's about... From when I played it, it took me about 2 hours to get through. So it's not exceptionally that much longer than Potatoman. Potatoman's one of those things, it's like, how long it'll take you to get through Potatoman depends upon how quickly you're able to catch on to what's going on around you, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of people just rage quit and they never come back to it, which is kind of a shame, but... I mean, the game is incredibly difficult for a reason, like it's kind of part of the story, but, you know, we can't force people to finish it.
Right. We have a question here from Fredericky in chat, or Freakity. I'm going to say Fredericky, but I feel like that's wrong. He asks, what is the Troof?
Am I supposed to answer that right now?
I don't know if you can answer that. That would be a bit of a spoiler, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah.
Oh, those come back! That's so wrong! That's every level of wrong.
I've never seen that before. I suggest not running away from it.
You know, that's probably a smart thing to do, but I don't know what else to do.
Face your egg fears.
Oh, there we go. Alright. My horrible egg phobia was kicking in there.
I think the first playthrough I ever saw this was by, what's his name? I can't remember his name anymore. And he played the game almost all the way to... I don't think he knew he was about to beat it. He was probably like one of those little pyramids away, and then he just stopped. And I think I was like thankful at the time, but of course, like tons of people have gotten to the ending on like playthroughs and stuff, and it's just something we had to accept. I mean, of course it was going to happen because the game is so short. But I think that we're just, you know, for one of all, we're grateful that people are playing it, you know, that it's that it's being seen. And I think for a lot of people, like, it's the type of game where they don't actually want to play it, but they do want to see it from beginning to end, because, you know, super difficult platformers just aren't their cup of tea, and that's totally fine.
Well, the thing about Potatoman is, unlike a lot of super difficult platformers, it actually feels like a game that can be beaten.
Right.
There's a lot of very difficult platform games out there, like I Want to Be the Bashi, which is just not happening. Not happening in your life. Cat Mario is interesting.
I only know that one because I saw PewDiePie play it once.
Yeah.
There's this great YouTube one. I don't know if... No, he's not playing Cat Mario. There's another super difficult Mario derivative. Oh, the white background means you've only got one left to get.
The only problem is I don't know where it is.
Do you want to know where it is?
Give me like maybe 5 minutes here to try to find it, and then we'll have...
Sure.
But yeah, there's a fair amount of difficult platformers out there, but I definitely feel like Potatoman, it's up there, you know.
Yeah,
And I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to the developer.
Yeah. This level was really meant to be less difficult and more just kind of, uh-oh, now you gotta go.
The last one's up there, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And you gotta go that way to get
there. Yeah, you do. Alright.
So close.
I'm going to run out of lives. If I run out of lives, I have to recollect everything?
I think so, yeah. You better not run out of lives.
That's horrible.
Probably are, though.
That's
horrible. Because this is one of the hardest parts of this level you're trying to do right here.
Yeah. Oh, man. I got one life. I got one potato. One potato.
You'll have like 30 chances if you try it again. We may run out of time.
There it is. Well, that's fantastic. All right. Well, I've kind of run out of questions to ask at the moment. Outside of maybe, is your favorite vegetable actually a potato?
I do love potatoes. It's not my favorite vegetable. I really love cabbage, but I don't really like it raw. I like it, you know, kraut and sauerkraut and kimchi.
Oh, I can't stand sauerkraut. Sauerkraut. It's like sauerkraut. I like BMWs from Germany. Those are fine, but they could have kept the kraut. You know, they could have kept sauerkraut.
Yeah, you know, those types of foods are love them or hate them, and I happen to love them. It's super healthy. If it's
of course,
raw,
it's healthy. It tastes horrible. It's got to be healthy for you.
It's one of the. Sometimes they cook it though. It doesn't taste good if they cook it. They cook it because there's all these like weird, like sanitation things that stores have to go through to sell something. But if you make it yourself, you can just make it raw, and it's so much better raw. You probably had the cook kind. That's my guess. But you would probably hate the raw kind too.
Is there really no other way to get up there besides that way, past that red thing that shoots a lot of bullets?
No, you can go this way too.
Oh, good. There's a different red thing that shoots a lot of bullets.
Oh yeah. You do have to get that past that thing, but you have two ways to get to it. Well, you're just jumping right into this.
We're getting it over with early. All right.
Oh no!
Last time the gravity took me, so I was expecting the gravity to take me this time, and it didn't. And I'm a little bit sad about that. I'm not gonna lie.
It's less gravity and more. You've got like this perma jump. I don't know how to explain it. You're in the zone to keep going.
In the danger zone.
Oh, we should have put that "Take It to the Limit" song from the South Park guys made, "Dance Upon a Razor's Edge." That would have been a really good song to play here.
So I suppose we should go over like where you can buy the game and pricing and all that crap.
Yeah, it's on Steam. That is the place to get it these days. It is $4. We're like entertaining the idea of adding some free DLC to it in the coming months, because I mean, really, like, it really is the type of game that you might just play once. And some people play it a lot. Some people play it and they say, "Oh, I play it every week," and I'm just thinking, like, really?
Well, it's one of those games that I can never see speedrunners getting into because of how difficult it is.
Yeah, but we don't have like a speedrun mode because we had considered it, but the game can be incredibly unfair at times, and it just seemed wrong to like go to have like an amazing run and then have just some random thing kill you at the very end. So I think if we did do it, I would have to program in, and this wouldn't be terribly difficult, just have to do it. Program in a method so that it's kind of pre-scripted. It's like on a random number seed that's the same every time, so that these things will always be firing the exact same way, and the boulders will always roll the exact same way, and the eggs will always come out of the birds the exact same way. So you could kind of just like get used to what that is, and then have your best speed run within that. There's a lot of things we could do with it. The nice thing about Steam is that it just like gets you in touch with all of your players much more than any other platform we've been on. And so getting feedback about that type of stuff. Oh, nice one.
Now that I know that's infinite jump and it's not gravity, I actually understand how to do this.
Oh!
I got an achievement out of that. Thank you. Thank you for the achievement. Steam trading cards, do you have them?
No, but we plan on adding them.
Yes! Hats, do you plan on adding those?
No, we don't plan on adding hats.
That's a darn shame.
Here's Potato Man's big moment of disillusionment. He went through all that.
I thought his eyes showed up on the bottom of his body there for a second because when he moved his mouth upside down, I was like, what? What in the world? Oh, poor Potato Man.
He's got that T-shirt. I went through all this shit, and all I got was a Steam achievement.
Is that? That should be an actual shirt that you sell in your store.
Yeah, just go with the flow, Potato Man.
That's kind of sad, really. How long does this go on?
Do you really want me to tell you?
I don't know if I think I want to live it. You know what? Well, I think we'll leave it here on the side of Potato Man. We'll let this play out. Do you have contacts that people can? Ooh, okay. Well, that was unexpected. All right. No, the stream didn't freeze. That's the game.
Do you have the music on, or is it muted?
I have the music on.
Okay, it's just that I can't hear it because of the way the
yeah, you may not be able to hear it through the Skype screen share. Oh no, Potato Man has become one with Cosmos.
This might be a good place to stop.
All right, so
there's a whole like end sequence, but it actually takes a while.
Do you have contact who can use to follow you and/or Pixel Jam and/or Potato Man?
The best way is through our Twitter, just at Pixel Jam Games. That's where we're most active. And Facebook too, but they charge us money to interact with our fans. So
on Facebook?
Yeah, when you're a part of a group, you have to boost your posts now. You have to pay them money so that we have like 5,000 Facebook followers, but when we post something, maybe 100 people will see it. So we actually have to pay Facebook money for them to see what we're saying.
That's kind of stupid.
It's not the most amazing like feature that they've added recently. But so Twitter is definitely the way. Just do Pixel Jam Games on Twitter. And really, I mean, like, if anybody gets the game on Steam, the whole Steam community hub is pretty rad. So we'll do most of our updating about the game there. And we definitely plan on updating it with like trading cards and probably some new achievements and maybe a little free DLC in the coming months. That's about all I can say about that. Not because it's secret, that's all I know. And like when we were earlier on, like in Pixel Jam's history, we used to make a bunch of promises like, yes, this is coming at this time. And the developers or anybody that makes anything are the worst when it comes to actually estimating when something's going to be done. So, you know, it'll be here when it's here.
All right. Well, thank you very much for talking to me today, Miles Tilmann, about your game Potato Man Seeks the Truth. Now available on Steam and from Pixel Jam Games. Indie Gamer Chick is going to be giving away some copies. She's got about 25 copies or so of this game that she'll be giving away on Twitter. I believe she said that she will start that giveaway at 5 o'clock. So, if you would like to get yourself a copy of Potato Man in an attempt to seek your own truth, feel free to ask her for a copy. It's a first-come, first-served thing, but if you do get a copy, there is a little bit of a deal there in which if you like the game, you have to make sure that you put out there that you like the game. Try to tell people about the game. Try to spread the game out there and to get people more and more interested, because there's always room in everybody's heart for a little bit more potato.
I agree with that.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm Megapieman. He's been Miles Tilmann, and talk to you guys later.